Hello and welcome to another episode of Camposol Through Time. This week we're talking about the celebrations and traditions born of the seasonal availability of certain foods. And to help us navigate the culinary calendar, with me today in the studio is our very own historian and time traveller, Antonio Hernandez Benitez. Antonio,
hello.
Welcome back. So
Thank you.
Food and drink, one of my favourite subjects to talk about.
Mine as well.
So we're going to talk about, because the area of Murcia where Camposol is and the area around Camposol, Mathron up to Alhama, it's very rural and there's lots of food grown. Through time, diet and the palate would have been dictated by the time of year when things are available, less so now. So can we talk about how what we grow now, what we grew then, and how it's changed what we see on the table?
Well, basically nowadays we have the facilities of the supermarkets. Okay, so you can go in Christmas and have a watermelon, where traditionally used to be only in summer. Okay, so obviously this is affecting in all the way of the diet. So all the Mediterranean diet that we used to have, we started to lose it. Okay, as well because of the lack of time for cooking and so on. And well, around here, you have to think about different seasons, but not only the season of the year. What I mean as well is the season and the festivity. For instance, we have a particular food for Christmas time, okay? We have a particular food for weddings and celebrations, so it doesn't matter if it's a wedding in February or June, okay? So we will have this food. And then, of course, a seasonal food, depending on the hot or the cold weather.
Okay, so let's just take one of those. You said there's food associated with weddings.
Exactly.
Now, this isn't seasonally dependent, is it? You say these are just food. What foods are associated with Spanish weddings?
Well, traditionally it used to be a big paella. It used to be the paella was the most important food for cheaper and tastier. Okay, and as well you were able to feed a lot of people. Okay, like with different big paella pans, you were able to feed probably 200 people, 300 people. Think about in the Spanish weddings, you invite everyone. Okay, so we will have to do a show for the celebrations and so on because they are completely different than the British ones. Okay, here normally people they give you money as a present. Okay, somehow they pay the expenses of the lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we do it in a big restaurant and so on. But in the old days, it used to be made at home. Okay, so in the old days, it used to be paella, and they used to be as well. They used to kill a pig, sometimes, or they used to kill a lamb. Okay, depending of what kind of farms they used to be in the family. Okay, nowadays. It's completely different. Nowadays, as I say, we do it in a restaurant, and we are expecting to have like really posh meat somehow, so posh type of food, okay?
Yeah.
Which sometimes it have to be nothing with the tradition or nothing with the Spain even, okay? So some people now even they include sushi to have it in a wedding, okay? So traditionally, obviously, for the old generations, they don't know what this is and they don't have a clue and they don't want to try.
They just want to paella.
Yeah, they wanted to have something tasty for them.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the food in the celebrations, traditionally, always you have to have more food than people. What I mean is like, traditionally, it used to be a lot of food. Okay, for instance, in Lorca, they're still doing these type of things, like after having 3-4 courses, they come with a paella. Okay, when you are already nearly going to explode, okay, it's coming, the paella is coming. Okay. So
Is the paella the signatory sort of dish that comes in, sort of, that's the one that they celebrate, even though that's not the main food anymore? It's still there symbolically as a celebration.
In some celebrations, yes. I mean, as I say, majority of the couples nowadays that they get married, as well, the amount of people who get married is lower than a few years ago. Okay, every day, less people they get married.
I think it's the same all over Europe, isn't it?
And so once that they get married, they wanted to have a special wedding with everything fun, well, special and different. Okay, that's why the food is changing. Now, majority of the weddings that have been, you don't even find the paella. You find food from all over the world, you know. But
And the beauty about paella as well is if you want a protein in there, you probably take what's available, whether
Oh,
it's
yes.
rabbit, whether it's
Yes.
the seed fish, or
Snails.
chicken, snails. Yeah.
You know, like the traditional paella around here used to be made of rabbit and snails.
Okay.
Why? Because it's something easy to find. Okay.
Well, you see people collecting snails.
Snails.
In the.
My
in the
father
hills,
loved
I
it.
know.
My father loved
Yeah.
the snail. I hate it.
I've only had it once. I had it at a Chiringuito down in Matheron, near the hotel, just outside the hotel, and I thought I'd try it. And it had garlic and parsley on it.
Sí, sí.
Didn't it? And I tasted them, and I couldn't taste this. All I could taste was garlic and parsley, so it was actually quite nice. But so I haven't had one just on its own yet. But as it happens, the garlic, parsley, and olive oil on it
No,
was.
my father, he likes to eat the snails with tomato sauce.
Okay.
Okay, so plenty of people, they cook it in different ways and so on, you know, but it's something traditional, okay? As well, the chicken paella or paella mixed with different meats like pork, rabbit, chicken, or even like what we call it mixed paella, where you can find meat and seafood.
Yeah, yeah. You see
Okay,
it.
meat, seafood, fish, all together.
Yeah.
It's one of the few dishes, actually. And then, for instance, another food that we are losing on celebrations is something that we call it migas. Migas is something that actually in the fiestas, in the fiestas in the villages, they wanted to keep the tradition. It's a very peculiar food. It's something that we eat only when it's raining.
Okay.
Okay, so we are waiting to have rain to have migas. Migas is made of flour, olive oil, and water. Basically, it's like breadcrumbs somehow.
I think I've had it. Yes.
With pieces of sausages, pieces of bacon,
yeah.
You know, like pieces of meat, as well some sardines, and we eat it with fruits. So it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of cereals, it's a combination of food, it's a combination of meat, fish, and fruits.
Okay.
And of course, you're drinking wine, obviously.
I wonder if it sounds very. And when I ate it, it's sort of quite crummy. It's quite not tough, but it's
A little bit dry.
a little bit dry. Yeah, but it had mixed everything in it. It was
Yeah,
very
for
nice.
sure.
Had it at a cafe in the Mediterranean
Probably,
a
yes.
couple of years back. I thought I'd try it out because I saw it, and it was very nice. But it's a bit. It reminded me a bit like a taboulet, a sort of a Moroccan taboulet, where you do get bits of fruit, you do get bits of meat, you get, but it's in couscous instead of just the flour. But it was reminiscent of that for me.
Probably the origin of the migas is coming from the Muslim time, because majority of the food around here is coming actually from those days. Okay, for instance, for us in Christmas and New Year's Eve and so on, it's very important for us to eat lamb. Okay, we don't eat. Obviously, we eat pork, you know, because we eat pork all year round, you know. But lamb is something like we eat it especially as well in different celebrations. Why? Because obviously we have plenty of lamb around here and so on, but not only because of that. It's as well coming from this past.
From the tradition, because
Exactly.
obviously lamb is one of the favourite foods from North Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why. But this, going back into the migas, actually is another type of food that you can. Basically, the shepherds they used to use it because they used to make, because it was easy to transport for them, for the food, and quick to make with the fire. Okay, and around here is something, as I say, it's funny because we are waiting to have rain to have migas, and as well on the fiestas. On the fiestas nowadays there is like migas competition. You know, when people it's like a contest, and you can win some kind of different prizes and so on.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you know.
And they judge the migas. Is migas sort of specifically local in Murcia, or is it all over Spain?
All over Spain, but it's different. You know, for instance, in Albacete, which is not far from Murcia, they use rabbit instead of pork. Around here we use pork, but over there they use rabbit. You know, and different other migas in different Spain, they can do it in a different way. Okay, so but somehow it's similar. It's somehow it's
But it's
like a
spread
shepherd.
from just the Moorish areas, southern
yeah.
Spain. It's spread across Spain, so now it's a national sort of dish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, well, for instance, like in summertime, we eat majority of the food nearly cold, which is something like, for instance, when I have been working or having lunch with British people, they get really frustrating when they get a steak, you know, or they get a chicken breast, and it's cold. And you're thinking, it's cold. And I think, oh yeah, it's summer. You know, like, and it's something like, they don't understand. Like we prefer, like, for instance, to have a coffee and then we put ice in the coffee.
I've started doing that. It's
You know,
really
like,
nice, yeah.
It's something like, I don't know, it's hot enough. You know, every day
Yeah.
it's really hot and you need to refresh somehow, you know. That's why as well we drink gazpacho during the summertime, or salmorejo, which is very similar to gazpacho, but thicker.
Is that the paler one? Because you've got gazpacho, which is quite sort of red, and next to it in Mercadona there's a pale one. And I tried that once. I didn't like it as much as the gazpacho.
Well, I prefer salmorejo, but contains more garlic. So if you like garlic, salmorejo is one of your flavors.
Because you could, I mean, gazpacho is like everyone thinks of gazpacho when you talk about Spanish foods, and it's something that you can drink just out of the bottle. You don't have to have it as a meal in a bowl with.
No. Majority of people, including me, we have it as a juice. We just open the fridge and a glass of gazpacho, and very refreshing. Especially when you are making something which a little bit of exercise or anything like that. Actually, I feel better, you know, after drinking the gazpacho.
It's really refreshing.
Oh yeah, for sure, it is.
What's in gazpacho? It's tomatoes?
Tomato, cucumber, peppers, onions, garlic, olive oil, vinegar, salt, black pepper, and then.
That's a recipe. It's a recipe. Got a recipe out.
Recipe.
Finally got a recipe out of it. Finally got a recipe. We'll write it down. If email us and we'll send
And
it to
then
you.
traditionally as well, we used to have like the paella. We used to have it on Sundays, always. Or in a family meeting, always a paella, or Sunday paella.
So a bit like with the Sunday lunch for the
Exactly.
Brits. We have a Sunday lunch and a roast, etc.
Exactly.
And it carries on no matter how hot it is in the summer on a Sunday.
You have it boiling.
You've got to have your Sunday roast, and everybody loves it. But a paella is the same thing, because paella is it's going out hot as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's something like, obviously, you have different paellas in Spain. The real one, or the traditional one, or the original one is in Valencia. They will be very offended if we call it the Murcian paella. We call it paella. They will be offended, you know. But well,
everyone's got their own. Yeah.
You know, but actually, nowadays this is even changing as well. Plenty of people, they prefer to buy roast chicken on a Sunday because it's quicker. You don't need to do anything. It's Sunday, and majority of people, they think it's my only day off, so I'm not going to spend it cooking, you know.
So has it changed? You mentioned about being a day off. Culturally, over the last few hundred years, working has become more important to all the members of the family.
Exactly.
And previously they would have had more time, a member of the family, probably traditionally the female, the mother, would have had more time to cook.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And because of that, they could have took their time cooking and made different. Because the diet of the Mediterranean and Spain is legendary to be one of the healthiest in the world.
Think about, for instance, majority of the food that we eat during the winter or autumn or springtime, but majority they are stews, different type of stews, like lentils, chickpeas, beans, different types, and it's going to be 80% vegetables, 20% meat or fish. So obviously it's quite healthy. Now we are doing the opposite. Now because of this lack of time, because as you say, like there is no a person, actually a specific person at home cooking or taking care of the house or anything like that, we don't have time. So we are doing actually quite the reverse. It's like 80% meat, 20% vegetables and fruits, you know.
Well, you can go out and get fried chicken, or you can get a burger or something like this, and the proportion of meat to other.
Or processed meat. I mean, you go to supermarkets and you buy those packets that you can buy half kilo of processed meat for €2. And you buy plenty of bread and you make baguettes, and the whole family, they can eat for €3. You know, but it's not healthy. I mean, for one day it's okay, but for every day, no. You know, and it's something sad somehow. But we are the first generation that we have actually children with cholesterol in Spain.
Is that right?
Yes. Think about, for instance, the desserts at home. At home, I used to have desserts. Always there were fruits. So there were different fruits, changing, obviously, during the different time of the year.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have pomegranates, some others you have oranges, some others you have apples, some others you have melons, you know, watermelons, strawberries, okay? Now, plenty of people, they have something, it's coming out from the supermarket. It's just a product of whatever, ice cream or whatever.
A cake or something.
A cake or something like that.
That's available all year round.
All year round, and you can buy one which is like half kilo for €1. Okay, this is another problem on our diet.
Yeah, following the seasons. When you come to the winter season, there's very little growing. Now, you did mention about grapes that are coming to ripeness in the winter.
There is a type of grape that actually they harvest nearly Christmas, which grows in Aledo. Actually, they have a quality stamp, like what we call it denominación de origen. Actually, the grape of Aledo is quite famous all around Spain, and they harvest actually right before Christmas.
And is this a wine grape, or is it a grape to do with the celebration at New Year, where you eat grapes?
Well, it's
is it the same grape or not?
No, it's not the same grape, but it's linking with that. Really, the origin of why did they started to harvest during this day, obviously, is that. But nowadays, think about majority of the grapes that we buy for New Year's Eve probably is coming from Brazil or coming from Ecuador or Guinea or Thailand or whatever, you know, because it's not the season around here. Okay.
I find that a little bit unusual from what we spoke about so far, because normally with superstitions and things which are sort of traditional celebrations, is because it's come from when the grapes are available. Now, if you're saying that we're importing grapes, 12 grapes from Brazil for New Year's Eve, where did that come from then, the idea of having the grapes? And when, more importantly, because if they didn't have grapes, why would they have made this into a...
Well, there used to be different type of... Think about because of the importation of products from other countries, this is changing as well in the local economy. Okay, so plenty of people, they stop growing things that they traditionally used to grow to plant something else which is more profitable.
Okay.
Okay. One example is around here they used to grow plenty of carob trees to have carrots, and now plenty of people they grow broccoli because obviously the percentage of profitable is a lot bigger.
So it would have been possible to grow the grapes so that they were fruiting at Christmas and New Year's Eve. It's just that nowadays it's just not worth it on
It's
an
not worth
industrial
it.
scale. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, originally this tradition of the grapes started in Madrid because there was an overproduction of grapes just before Christmas. Okay, so the grapes worth nothing. So there was someone very clever. He went into the countryside. He bought plenty of grapes for nearly nothing, or probably he picked up for free. He just put it in a paper, 12 grapes, and he was selling as a lucky grapes. If you eat them, you will have a lucky year.
And that's how it started.
Yeah, and people, they like it because we celebrate the New Year's Eve in front of the clock of the Plaza del Sol in Madrid. Nowadays, in every single town hall, they have a clock. People, they go there to celebrate it, and we eat the 12 grapes. And
All born
we
of
are
that.
talking about over 120 years ago.
So that one industrialist guy who had an idea, get some free grapes and sell them to people.
For whatever the amount of money, you know.
Good luck.
Yeah, and people, they like it. They like the idea, you know, and this is how the tradition started and expanded all around Spain. And that's why
Traditions always start somewhere, and I find it fascinating if you actually dig down and find out where did that actually come from to do that.
Oh, yes.
So that's fascinating. And it's only 120 years old.
Around that.
Round about that, yeah.
So now, for instance, plenty of people, we change it a little bit. Instead of grapes, we have like sweets, or we have something different, you know, something that you particularly like more, but traditionally grapes.
And that takes us to the end of the year and the end of the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been fascinating learning about the difference between what we eat now and what we eat then. And I thought it was particularly poignant when you said about the children these days. It's the first generation that are showing signs of cholesterol in children. And that just reflects how it's changing and having an impact on society. Really interesting. Thanks, Antonio.
Thank you.
Brilliant. So, if you've got some cooking tips for us, send them in. If not, we'll give you that gazpacho recipe that Antonio gave you. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, all previous episodes of Camposol Through Time are there to watch on Camposol TV YouTube channel. You just go to the listings and you'll find it there. And you can pick out any one of these shows. So we'll be back here same time next week with another episode of Camposol Through Time. Ta-da for now. Bye-bye. Thanks, Antonio. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Really interesting.